So much wind.
It was so much that it actually popped the breaker.
Although lately there's been so much bloody fog you wouldn't know where you were. No, we spotted one.
Oh, there it is. There.
Close?
Yeah, I can see its skin. We've been here in Tolknafjordur for a few days now, and that weather that we were hiding here for has thankfully blown past. Honestly, this has been such a calm Anchorage. We have not felt anything. It's been like flat as a pancake and super calm. So we feel very vindicated in our choice to come up here. Anyway, time to go and start exploring some more of the fjords up here in the West Fjords. We're just going to go one bay over to
One fjord over.
One fjord over.
That's Caribbean speak.
To Trostensfjordur.
Trostensfjordur, I think. There's a marina or a harbour called Biladur, and then past that the fjord opens up and it sort of forks off into three. I think the main fjord is Trostensfjordur, and we're going to a place where there's a nice little spring, allegedly.
In summary, I've made the executive decision to start chasing hot springs.
Darren needs a bath.
I need a bath. Actually, in this bay specifically, there was one about 45 minutes walk further up that hill. We went there on a kind of foggy day. We didn't film it or anything. We just literally sat there and just bathed for a half an hour and then had our 45-minute walk back again. Somewhat defeating the purpose of having a bath, but it was this bay that actually had some little nice surprises in.
Well, I guess that answers our question about how much kelp was on the bottom. So much seaweed. Kelp, brother. So much weed. Man. What am I going to do without that? Oh, wow. That's going to take a minute. Okay.
Adam's just come to get the boat hook. Apparently the amount of kelp that was on our anchor was so much that it actually popped the breaker of our windlass. I had to go downstairs and redo the windlass breaker. It's pretty heavy. Wow. I've come to see this spectacle. Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh, that's a lot.
I think there's a fucking huge rock or something in the middle of it all. She was definitely dug in, that's for sure.
Safe harbour. Alright. Oh, that's the third reef, sorry. Start winching.
Block's in a terrible position. Need to move them back. Just a little bit back, I think it'd be like there, I think, for a full canvas.
Whereabouts?
Somewhere here would be a good start. We've not got adjustable cars. One of the downsides of this boat is it doesn't have adjustable cars. And so we had the blocks set for kind of 1 reef to 3 reefs in the head sail, because we knew we were going to be going to windward, and I often use the staysail head sail combo with a slightly short head sail. So I set the blocks for that, and all has been fine. And to be honest with you, we haven't needed a full head sail in, well, the whole time we've been here. But today is an exception to that, and we just put one out and the blocks are way too far forward. Instead of changing them, which would require us to either tack or to furl it in, we're just going to shorten it to one reef and ghost along. What I need to do for the blocks is rig up it's not really a barber hauler, but it's the closest terminology I can remember. It was essentially just a second block with sort of so I can manually adjust it from here. The problem is that I don't have any clutches or winches or jam cleats or anything to make that adjustment with a winch and then lock it off and free up the winch. Something to figure out in the future, that's for sure.
Just coming into the fjord now. This was actually a lot longer of a fjord than we realised. I think it's like 20 miles from tip to the base, and it's taken us a little while to get down here. We definitely had some wind at the beginning, but it's started to peter off now. But blue skies are back. Yes. Really, it's made me so much happier, and we can actually see some of the fjords as well. It was all very mysterious and ominous, kind of just driving down these grey fjords, and like there's a reason why we came to Iceland, to see cool epic stuff like this, like these fjords. I feel like we're gonna have to play a drinking game every time I say fjords. Typical, all blue sky behind us. As soon as we come to our anchorage, it's fog, low cloud, it looks horrible. Maybe we chose the wrong spot. There is not much here at all. There's literally this hot pot, an abandoned building, and I think maybe 2 houses. That's it. Ads is just finding a suitable depth. We've had some funny depth readings coming in here, and I think there's meant to be like a hole at the bottom here, 50 meters. We never saw more than 25 meters the whole time. And we also saw a dredger leaving this bay. So I think that they've been filling in this hole here. So a lot of the soundings are not what's on our chart, which is very nerve-wracking, as usual. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to go have our shower, our bath for the month?
Have our bath. Yep, I think so.
Really stupid at the moment because occasionally we keep saying to each other, "Oh my God, Millie's in Millie's in Iceland. Oh my God, we're in Iceland." Like, we're still kind of just blowing our mind that we are here, that we're actually like, we've sailed ourselves here, we've sailed a boat here.
It's really nice like tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nights with picturesque mountains and like a vanilla sky. Yeah. It's nice.
I can't believe we're here. It's crazy.
Although lately there's been so much bloody fog you wouldn't know where you were. Last time, on the way to this particular fjord, we were about a mile offshore and we lost all reference to land, which was fine because we have charts and radars and all the modern cons, but like, you could have been sailing anywhere.
As convenient as this Anchorage is as well, it was such a stupid place for us to anchor, and we kind of realised this like as we were getting here. We tried to make good decisions when we anchor, but sometimes we make poor ones. Pardon?
Yeah, it's not at all a sensible place.
Yeah, it's kind of like an onshore breeze, and yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on our part.
Well, to be fair, it was forecast to be completely calm. We would never have come here if it wasn't going to be calm, and it has been pretty calm. It's just that because it's right at the end of a fjord, even with moderate to no breeze, it kicks up enough fetch to be sort of uncomfortable. And this part of the fjord, it shelves really rapidly, like the tide drops. Basically here, where we are now, we're probably over, when the tide drops, you could get out and walk to the shore. And the shore is still 100 meters away, maybe more. We're literally 2, maybe 3 boat lengths before running out of enough water in a particularly tidal spot with an onshore breeze and plenty of fetch. So it's like crosses across the board. But if you come here on a calm and you're very careful, it's very well placed for that bath that we're about to go to, which is why we're here. We will not be staying here more than tonight though. We'll move off tomorrow to another part of the fjord that's better protected. It's warm, but it's mostly because I'm quite cold. So these two are fed from the natural hot spring that is, you know, the original, the source, if you will. So this is, I think, the middle one, and that's the cooler one, and they just overflow and get progressively colder. And then just over there behind the changing rooms, there's the natural ones, which is allegedly very hot. So we should really go check that out first, I think, and then work our way to the normal one.
I concur.
Oh, it's cold. Go, go, go. That looks really hot.
Where do I even enter? Anyway.
Somewhere shallow so you can leap out again.
Oh, that's really hot. I don't know if I can do it.
You can do it. Come on.
Hold on, you go. You go.
Oh, it's just because your feet are cold. That's fine. I go in the other one, so I'm a bit more acclimatized. It is warm, but...
We shouldn't have started with the hottest. We should have worked our way up.
No, it's nice.
I'm so excited for these beers.
A double win this place. You get a mud bath and a heat treat.
This has literally been, since the very first hot spring that we've had, we wanted beers, and every single time we've forgotten, apart from Vimsvik, which served them, but they were just so expensive, you're like, this is awesome. So, we have a bit of a problem. Remember how we mentioned before that the tide came up very, like, how would you describe it?
The tide went out a long way. It came up until where it always comes up to, but now it's gone out, and it goes out. It's really flat. It's a big floodplain, basically, for 100 meters or more. And now it's...
So this is where the dinghy is.
The dinghy's basically in the middle of nowhere.
All that there is land. Just a lone man walking his dinghy.
I'll just see if I can drag it with you in it.
I feel so lazy.
Once it floats,
it floats now.
Yeah. So I can almost row from there. Is kelp worth any money? Because if kelp's worth money, we're going to be rich.
What's happened again?
Ugh. It's not as bad this time. Just a big one. I need to put a knife on a stick so I don't have to like poke at it.
Literally 5 minutes of the beginning of every episode is going to be you taking kelp off the anchor.
Oh, muscles.
Okay, so next day after the spa, it's not a spa. Technically they did have a mud bath. Next day after we finally went to the hot springs, there's another Anchorage around here that has a really cool waterfall, and we figured while we're in here, this fjord is like pretty massive. It's like 20 miles just to get from the tip to here. So while we're in here, we kind of want to do more than just go to see that little hot pot. So there is a pretty cool waterfall here that has like a nice hike to it. So we're going to go up and, on a calm day, just pretty much go 2 fjords over inside this fjord and just go and have a look at the waterfall. It's high tide. And so we've chosen this time to leave because it does get a little shallow in this bay. As mentioned the other day when the tide dropped, we felt a little bit uncomfortable. We were also on a lee shore, which is dumb of us to anchor on a lee shore. But we felt a little bit uncomfortable when we saw the tide kind of slipping away behind us, and we were like, oh my goodness, there's not really much water in this bay, is there? We've decided to, when it's highest tide, get out of here so that we have lots of water underneath us, make our way onto the next place. Life without fog. Even clouds. I can handle clouds. I just hate fog. You can see like how amazing this scenery is now. But when we came in here, it was like, oh yeah, there's another cloudy mountain, foggy mountain. So much better not having fog.
It can be quite majestic though. Fog, a little bit of sprinkle,
Yes.
Tastefully sprinkled fog
You're
can make like,
if we're going to manufacture
we're going
the
to
scene.
manufacture the scene, can make like, you know, like glorious sunshine and then a mountain. It's like, okay, it's a good mountain.
Yeah,
But then if you put a little bit of like, if you have it at magic hour with a gentle
Yeah.
sprinkling of mist and fog or a cloud climbing up the face of it, can be pretty amazing.
So artistic.
On the way in here, we were desperately like, I shouldn't like, the side note, our equipment is failing at an alarming rate in
Camera
Iceland, like camera equipment. The boat's holding up really nicely, but like GoPro mounts, GoPro batteries, drone propellers, drones, everything is just like, oh, today I'm just gonna die. I don't know, it must be the cold on the plastic, everything's getting brittle, or the battery, I know why the batteries are not loving the cold, but, oh, so frustrating. Anyway, back to my story. We were coming into this fjord and it was exactly the moment I just described. It was like cloudy, miserable, and then the sun broke through one of the valleys and all the mist sort of started going a bit crazy and it climbed up the valley and was like pouring over the top of a mountain like a wave, yeah. And it was calm enough to fly the drone. I was like, we have to fly the drone, run, get the drone now. Of course, it didn't want to fly. It was some kind of, just a plethora of errors and broken things, and it didn't happen. So just imagine that in your mind. Imagine that.
Should we just click on like a wave over a mountain and then like a big cloud on top?
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine that.
Yeah, being up in Iceland, you get a lot of really insane opportunities for just incredible moments to capture, and then you try to capture them, you're like, it's not the same. Which I kind of love, because it's one of those things that to really experience it, you have to come all this way. You've got to pony up and you've got to come here. Like, we'll do our best to capture it and show you, but it'll never do it justice. It just won't.
First whale spotting inside of Iceland. It's pretty exciting. We're just entering the beginning of the fjord.
No, we spotted whales.
Oh, there it is. There.
Close?
Yeah, I can see its skin. Oh, there's a proper whale flip there.
Don't take my rudder. These are the good kind.
They're the Icelandic kind.
The orca community needs a little bit of positive PR, so happy to oblige. If you want to come and chat, let's settle this once and for all.
I keep hearing all of these noises. There's one there, noises over there. I can see riffles here. They're just everywhere. It's pretty cool. I mean, there are 3 and they're spread far apart, not everywhere.
3 3 behind us.
3 behind us. Wow.
They're playing together. This one goes off and then you look there and then they switch.
Definite safety in land. We would never ever be trying to get closer to the whales if we were underway. Like literally they came up to us when we were underway in the middle of the ocean.
Snuck up on me. You're very good at this Marco Polo stuff. Oh, we're right in the middle of them. I hope we're welcome guests to this party.
But here we're like, quickly detour to go and see the whales.
Immediate left turn.
Yeah, exactly. Ah! Oh, I didn't. Oh my god, he's back. So inquisitive. I didn't even know what I was filming, but I was just like filming this little patch of water that was kind of moving. I thought it was a bird. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that is. Carried on filming something else and Adam's like, oh my god, it's a seal, it's a seal. Oh, how cute. Oh, he's behind us.
I thought it was a rock.
I thought it was just a bird.
I looked and I was like, that thing has like a water stream behind it, like the
Yeah.
tide's making ripples. I was like, that's a rock and I'm in 100 meters of water. And then it turned and looked at me. I was like,
Oh my god.